Air hockey is a game of strategy, speed, reflexes, ability, thinking. It's fast chess is what air hockey is. Ready to go?
This is the last episode of my 36th year on this earth.
Oh, you're trying to put out there a birthday thing for yourself then, right? You're trying to drop birthday hints?
No. I'm not trying to drop it. This is the last, if you think about it, the fact that I've been alive for 36 years, I mean, that's kind of, that's a story in itself.
In honor of your 37th birthday, let's ask this question. Do you think that you have wasted the first 36 years of your life?
No, actually. I would not have traded any moments, especially in my 20s and early 30s.
Okay, so you didn't waste the whole thing, but what percentage of your life do you feel like you've wasted?
I don't know, probably less than 20%, so a fifth.
I do feel like I've wasted a significant portion of my life by not really remembering a lot of it. In the sense that, like, okay, not only going out and doing that stuff when you're in your 20s, but I should have written down or kept some sort of a journal of things that I've been doing. Because I would say that I would almost go out on a limb and say I don't remember 90% of my life.
Wow. I won't say that. I will say...
Think about your day-to-day.
I don't disagree with you if you're doing it that microscopically, but there are definitely moments in time where somebody will say, hey, remember when this happened, that happened, and it was a big moment to them, but I don't remember it. I have started keeping a journal, though. I do keep a journal now.
Oh, I keep a journal, too. I write down something. I try to write down something from every single day.
You know what I kind of wish is that I would have taken, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I hate myself in photos, but I wish I would have taken more photos throughout the years.
All right. Okay. Well, let's move on.
Doesn't that scare you? This is a conversation I had with a complete stranger about 12 hours ago. That like people don't know, like we already don't know how to talk to each other, and some people can blame the pandemic, whatever. But isn't that scary moving forward in life? That the generations well below us or after us may not communicate at all in person?
I don't know, man. I think that every generation thinks the generation above them is idiots and the generation below them is idiots, and that has been standard for the all time. I think that every generation thinks the other there's something wrong with the generation coming up. Is that true or not? I don't know. I mean, I would say that there's definitely some things that people younger than me do that I wonder how that's going to pan out. But I think people older than us probably wondered how that was going to pan out for us, and we turned out just fine. Every generation thinks every other generation's terrible, and that's just how it's always been. But so you don't communicate with other people. Well, we adapt and we evolve, and everything's probably going to be fine. So
our generation's definitely been through some shit, though. But we can move on.
I mean, millennials have, but the thing is like, I don't understand how one generation thinks that if they were in that other generation, that things would really be any different. Everybody's a product of their time. If we were 20-year-olds, we would be acting just the same way as 20-year-olds do now. It's not like we were doing something great. You're all a product of their time. It's just how it is.
Just history repeating itself every 15 years.
It does, man. All the trends are coming back, right? The thing that I don't understand is the hate about socks.
Enlighten me, because I'm not, I guess, familiar with it.
So, listen, apparently there's a big thing that ankle socks are not what you're supposed to be wearing, and ankle socks aren't cool, but I don't understand that as well, right? Like, if ankle socks are the way to go, no-show is the way to go. I don't understand the idea of having these big, long socks. Like, that's just not as convenient. It doesn't look as good. It's much more uncomfortable. That's the only generational thing I would push back against is about the socks.
I mean, I don't care what kind of socks you wear, but it doesn't, long socks just aren't comfortable. Like they don't look good and they're not comfortable and they're getting too hot.
I 100% agree. That is a hill that I am willing to die on. I understand younger generations may prefer longer socks, but longer socks are just not the way to go. Like, every generation does things differently, but this socks thing, like, no, you're doing it wrong.
You're wrong. You need to wear and stop wearing whitey tighties as well.
Oh man, I love whitey tighties. I rocked those into my 30s.
All right, here's some shout outs for this week
Okay.
as we enter September. Josh Renfro, Will Faraball, Gabrielle Duveneau, Julian Council, Justin Huxford, John Skelly, Alexander Hamon, Dave Klassen, Jake Quisada, Jaden Hooker, Ryan Graham, and give a special shout out to someone who's been a listener of this podcast for quite a while, Kent Culpert.
Oh,
Thank
you, Kent.
So appreciate all of you, not just Kent, but everyone on that list. So, all right, well, go ahead.
You don't see a lot of Kents. How
You
old
don't.
is Kent? Do you know how old Kent is?
Oh man, you're gonna get me in trouble. Oh boy, I know he's near 50 or just after 50.
That's about the age that I would think that somebody named Kent would be. No offense to Kent. Kent is like, you can kind of tell how old somebody is by their name a little bit. Kent's a name that precedes us. Will it make a comeback? Eventually.
If I had to ask you, is Kent Culpert, what heritage do you think he is?
No idea.
He's Irish. So
Culpert? I don't know what that... Like, I couldn't ever guess somebody's nationality by their name, unless it's like O'Shaughnessy.
Well, I just feel like Kent's like Kent's a pretty Irish-specific name, I feel.
Oh, I don't know. I would never associate Kent with being Irish. I mean, if his name was like Connor, like I don't... Yeah, I just was like, his name's Kent. He has to be Irish.
All right, so I don't know if you remember what we had talked about last week.
Nope.
But we're gonna in America, the NFL kicks off in a couple of days. It's actually going to kick off the day after we release this episode.
Thursday the 5th, I believe.
Thursday the 5th. So we had talked about, I'm going to bring up some awards, like most valuable player, offensive player of the year.
All right.
And I'm going to give you who I actually think it will be.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
You had said that you're going to come up with a list that makes no sense, and you're still going to be better at the end of the year in terms of who you picked than me. And I did research. You said, Shull, do some research and come to the table with something. So here's what I'm proposing to everybody out there. Whether you listen to the episode, whether you're watching us on YouTube, whatever, come up with your own list and let's compare. I mean, I'm sure we have some T-shirts laying around somewhere that we can give somebody.
We do have T-shirts, actually. We do have T-shirts.
So I guess we'll start with probably the lowest one. So there's 5. I picked 5. Okay. 4 awards in the Super Bowl winner. So let's start with probably the lowest award or valued award, which is Rookie of the Year of the NFL. Who are you going with?
Well, who's the rookies? Like, I don't know. I don't know any of the players.
I don't know why I expected you to do any research.
Babalingo Babalangar is my favorite player. I think he's great. He's definitely rushing the outside. He runs a 4.3. He's 6'12" and 397 pounds. I believe he plays wide receiver. So that would be my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year is Babalingo Babalangar.
I'm sorry. Was there a Babalingar in there?
Babalingo Babalangar. I have no idea, dude. Like, I don't know. This is the problem, is that you went way too specific on a list that I have no idea. Right? Like, who do you think is going to be the best player in the baseball draft? I don't know. I don't know a single one of them.
Your idea last week.
This was not my idea. You said you were going to do something.
No, you said last week to do this. So go back and listen to it.
But I didn't do any research.
Yeah,
I did no research for this, so how would I be able to do it? Like, who do you think is the Offensive Rookie of the Year? Person who did no research?
Well, here.
Don't even know any of the names of the players.
I'll tell you what. You take Jaden Daniels. I wrote down Caleb Williams. They're the 2 favorites. Both quarterbacks. Caleb Williams is the rookie quarterback for the Bears, so he's probably going to die. That's who I went with. You're getting Jaden Daniels, who is the Washington Commanders quarterback.
I don't want Jaden Daniels. I want Caleb Williams. I'm picking Caleb Williams for my Rookie of the Year.
Fine. Then we're both picking him, and I'm writing that down.
Bijan Robinson. Is Bijan Robinson a rookie?
No. We'll get to him. All right.
Marvin Harrison. Martin
don't even know.
Harrison's playing.
You're not going to know anybody. Defensive player of the year.
Who's-its. Good old Who's-its. Brother of what's-its name. Who's-its.
It doesn't
John
matter.
Who's-its.
I'm
Great player.
I went with TJ Watt.
Who's he? Is he J.J. Watt's brother?
Yes.
Oh, is he really? He's actually
yes.
his brother? Oh, okay. Yeah, him. He's great. I love him.
Just so you know, everyone, when Nick starts talking shit to me about the NFL, saying I'm not a fan, remember this episode where he couldn't name you one defensive player.
I don't know specifics of it, but I bet I get the games right.
Oh, okay. Offensive player of the year, then?
Oh, some quarterback.
Do you just want to name one that you've heard of?
C.J. Stroud.
Perfect. I went with Bijan Robinson.
Who's that? Oh, I dropped that guy's name. Isn't he a running back?
He is for the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. Yeah, he's great. I love him.
Just so everyone knows, that's Nick's first actual answer other than
Bobalingo. You gave me no options. Like, just pick some random guy about this thing that I'm like, hey, okay, tell me your favorite badminton player.
You told me to do research and that you were just going to go off the top of your head.
Yeah, but I don't know any of the people who are involved.
Okay, well, this is the last person, and then we'll get to teams.
This is like, you have to have parameters for these things. You got to set these things up correctly. It's got to be multiple choice, not just open end.
Multiple choice. MVP of the league.
Oh, probably Patrick Mahomes.
All right.
Because he wins every year.
That's who I have as well. So I'm going to change it. I'll give you Mahomes, and I will take Jalen Hurts from the Eagles.
Oh, that's a terrible pick. His team's terrible.
Probably. All right.
Like if things raise to the level, well, I know it's a bad idea, then you should definitely know it's a bad idea. Like, no, he's not going to be. The team that, like, but didn't they get, like, they did terrible last year? They're suddenly going to be good this year? No, that's not going to happen. My offensive player of the year is Caleb Williams. My defensive player of the year is probably going to be Micah Parsons.
Did you just look up a list? Where did Micah Parsons come from?
Yeah, I've heard that name before.
All right, well, let's, this might be too advanced. I don't know. Who's winning the AFC and the NFC for you?
Oh, I don't know which teams are in which division.
Okay, who do you have winning the Super Bowl then?
Oh, probably, I don't want them to win at all, but probably the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they seem like they're probably the best team. It doesn't seem like anybody else really got any much better. So probably them. Who I would want to win is the Buffalo Bills, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Probably not. I went to the Detroit Lions.
That's not going to happen.
Over the Baltimore Ravens. So
the Detroit Lions will eventually remember that they are the Detroit Lions. Like, they're not. I don't think it's actually legally allowed for Detroit to win at anything.
I mean, not in this decade or last decade. Well, last decade they did win a Stanley Cup, but it doesn't matter. All right, listen, that's all I had. I wrote Bobalingo Babalar, and I'm going to look up to see if anyone even comes close to that name.
Oh, he's a great guy. The thing that I've always heard about the NFL is generally, like, whatever you think is going to happen is wrong. This is my rant about sports analysts. I can't stand them. I don't think that any of them have any idea what they're talking about, and they're wrong most of the time. They make weather people look like they know what's going on. Like, sports analysis, like, who knows, man? They don't know.
I can tell you that whatever college football has done to itself, it's terrible because college football may be the worst product out there on the market. Okay, do you think I mean, they are also like the second biggest sport in the world, I think. Not in the world, but in the United States. I think it's college. I think it's NFL football and then college football. So they seem to know what they're doing. No, I don't think that's right. In the world? No, not in the world. No, in the United States, though. I would say it's probably NFL football and then college football. I think the NBA's in there, but I don't really know. Move on. I had a question that I was going to ask you, and I completely forgot about it. Good. So my plan's working. Distract you. Are you ready for... Are you ready for what time it is? Did you remember? Oh, my God. Of course I remembered. This... Before you get into the intro, this is something I don't even know how to describe it, but it may be. It is easily a Candle of the Year nominee. Wow! So, anyways, let's go. Candle of the Year contender. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's time. The outlaw candle connoisseur. I can't do the table thing when we're live. The outlaw candle connoisseur rides again. Candle of the month.
Oof. So, hold on. Let me grab a quick drink here.
Okay. All right. Where's your whistle? Hydrate. Make sure to hydrate.
So this, I don't even know how to describe this candle and how it came to be, other than it ended up by accident that the family and I were going out to breakfast one day.
Ooh. Where'd you go?
And the two places we went to or wanted to go to.
Two places for breakfast?
No. We went to the first place, which is the place we really wanted to go to. They were out of power, so they weren't open. So then I look on the outage map, and we're like, okay, let's go to another place across town. So we go over to the other place, and they had like a ruptured water line, and it flooded their kitchen. So now we're like, what the fuck do we do, right? Let's just go home, and I'll make pancakes.
Ooh.
My oldest daughter out of nowhere goes, I want piggy pancakes.
You gotta put that. You gotta say
Yep.
no.
Well, guess what restaurant has piggy pancakes?
Pigs in a blanket. What are piggy pancakes? I don't know what that is.
They're kids' pancakes, but they put them and they look like a pig.
Oh, you had to go looking around for something that specifically makes. You had to like drive around and do all that stuff. I'm not doing that. Like, tough luck, kid.
I did it. We did a
Here's
quick
a
Google.
stick of wood you can get and you chew on that.
My wife did a quick Google search, and we found one restaurant, at least that has them on their menu publicly, and that is Bob Evans.
Oh, okay.
So
Similar
we're
to
in
an
Bob.
IHOP for people who don't know.
We're in Bob Evans, and we're eating, and whatever. We go to pay, and they have a counter. It's kind of like a Cracker Barrel, like you have to kind of go into a little store to pay or whatever. It's not really a store, but they have merchandise. And sure as shit, sitting right next to the cash register are Bob Evans candles.
Oh my God. Are you going to tell me that the candle of the month, potentially a candle of the year nominee, is something from Bob Evans?
Not only am I going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you that I don't see them sold online, which means you have to go to the store to buy them. There's several different kinds. I got the buttered maple syrup, one wick candle, and it is delicious. I mean, it is. Right now in Michigan, it's going to about 80 degrees in the daytime and goes down to about 55, 65 at night. And man, you light that sucker at night, and it just makes you feel all homey. Makes me feel like I'm eating pancakes with maple syrup and butter on them. It is delicious.
Part of me is very upset with this. Part of me understands it. The part of me that is very upset with this is like, this is a Bob Evans candle. This is supposed to be candle of the month. You're supposed to be the outlaw candle connoisseur. And you're essentially telling me, like, you're a restaurant critic who's recommending me McDonald's. Like, have you ever heard of McDonald's? Right?
Nope.
Like, that's what you're doing right now. But the other part of me understands, because the best spaghetti sauce that I've ever had in my life that I'm addicted to is the cheapest crap that I can get from the local grocery store here. So I understand that sometimes you can find hidden gems in unexpected places.
I mean, it's not like I wanted this to happen. I mean, to be honest with you, I had a very nice candle from another online company that I was going to have on here. This just happened in the last couple of weeks.
I just don't know how I feel about it. I kind of feel like you're selling out for no money.
I mean, listen, if people have trusted me for the last 2 years with this candle connoisseur title,
okay,
trust me on this one.
Just putting your reputation on the line is what you're doing.
Don't get buttered maple syrup then. Get the farmhouse scent.
Oh my God. How long did you spend looking at candles at Bob Evans?
I mean, it wasn't more. I mean, they only had 2 or 3 scents to choose from, but it was a joke. My wife laughed at me. Right? She's like, "Oh, why are you getting a candle?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let's give it a try."
Man,
and it was amazing.
Did you make it awkward for the cashier? Did you talk to him too much about the candles? Did you make it awkward for the cashier?
Actually, it was a great experience. And
for both of you, or just for you?
Well, I had asked because there was a little dust on the top of the candle, and I'm like, people don't buy these too often, do they? And the woman was like, no, I don't remember the last time anyone bought one of those.
God, and you're gonna say that it's a great candle?
I'm telling you, sometimes you find the best things, the diamond in the roughs, in the roughest of things. Like, you don't expect it, and I didn't expect this to be good at all. But my house, a week later, still smells like buttered maple syrup pancakes.
Wow, that good. I mean, I did meet my wife on Match.com, so you do never kind of know. Yeah, but I'm going to be pretty skeptical. We're going to need somebody from the audience to try out the Bob Evans candle. How much was it? I think
$8.95.
Oh, so cheap.
Yeah, it was not expensive, and you didn't have to pay for shipping. You know, I could just take it home. I could just burn it. I mean, I know I've had some other store-bought candles on here before, but I do showcase a lot of companies and a lot of sites that are, websites. So
okay, all right. Well, we'll just have to go ahead and see what we hear.
I get your hesitation. I get it, but trust me on this one. If you can find it, you won't regret it.
That's a cheap. That's all. You kind of had me sold a little bit at cheap. That's all I really need. I seriously doubt that Bob Evans makes the candle. They probably just like, hey, Bob Evans, you want to put these in your store and put your name on it? Like, yeah. They probably make the same candle for like 10 other companies.
I mean, you could argue that, that's all candles kind of smell the same after you really get down to it.
Yeah. Does IHOP have candles? Are you going to start going around and checking out various stores to see if they have candles?
We've had this conversation. I don't think I've ever been to an IHOP.
Oh. Yeah, IHOP. I don't think I've ever been to a Bob Evans. I've never been to a Cracker Barrel.
I've been to a Cracker Barrel. I've only been to a Waffle House once, and it was on the outskirts of Nashville, only because the person I was with was like, we have to go to a Waffle House. It's a Tennessee thing.
Oh, yeah. So, well, no, that's a cultural experience. That's great. You need to go for like a Waffle House at certain times of the day is dinner and a show. Like, that's an entertainment thing. Okay, is that it? Are you ready?
That was it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so in honor of football season starting up, top 5 bar games. I think that's what they're called. And we're not talking about, like, Flip Cup or things like that. Like, not drinking games, bar games. Like, stuff that you do at a bar, besides drink. What's your number 5?
So I think this is a newer addition, at least in the last decade or so, maybe not. But my number 5, I have cornhole.
That's what I have. My number 5 is also cornhole, and that's not a new addition. That's existed for like years. The only reason I put cornhole as number 5 is because I don't really think that there's that many. That's where it goes. Like, cornhole's number 5 by default for me, not because I actually enjoy the game.
It's just one of those games where no matter how much I try, I still suck. I could be playing somebody with no arms, one leg, and half a head. They're still going to beat me.
Oh, you're that bad at it? You have poor depth perception?
I wouldn't say depth perception. I just say the more I drink, the less I care.
Oh, yeah.
That's where some of these games or some of these activities I have further on the list, I know not to be too drunk at because I want to do well.
That's what, like, cornhole is my number 5, but only because, like, I just could never see myself, like, really trying hard at cornhole. Like, I really want to win this game of cornhole. Like, I'm not motivated by it.
Yeah, it's just, no, I'm good with it. That's where it should be. My number 4, and this is kind of, once again, it has to be on the list somewhere. So I put it just above cornhole, but it goes no further for me. So my number 4 is darts.
Oh, you have darts at number. Darts is a classic game.
I do.
I think if we were overseas, other countries are really into darts. I will say there's a video on the internet that if you ever see like the best round of darts ever, I think it is called, that looks like the greatest atmosphere I've ever seen in my life. I want to go to like the world's darts championship. I don't know if I've ever seen more people having fun. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, some of these small niche sports, like they can get fun. It's fun. It's a good time.
My number 4 is shuffleboard.
Okay. All right, I like shuffleboard. Shuffleboard's fun for sure.
I would have put shuffleboard higher, but it's a little harder to find. I don't think there's enough places.
I unfortunately think it just gets edged out on my list, but I like shuffleboard. I do.
Okay. It's your number 3.
Air hockey.
I'm glad you have it at number 3. I think that it should be higher on the list, but I'm glad that you have it. I'm glad that air hockey is getting a little bit of respect. My number 3 is darts. I would have put darts a lot higher. I like darts a lot, but I think that the 2 and 1 are just like, no, those need to be there. But I love darts. I think it's great.
It's funny you say that because I think my 1 and 2 are the only options for 1 and 2. So,
okay.
Having air hockey at number 3, I think if air hockey was in more bars, it would have maybe gotten to be my number 2. But I haven't been in too many bars that have had air hockey.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that probably, even though we don't have it, I think most people would say darts is number 1.
And I think that's fair. That could be fair.
Okay. What's your, go ahead.
My number 2 is pinball.
Oh, I like pinball, but it's a game that I can't. It's not social enough. That's why I think pinball is held back as a bar game because you gotta be invested in it. Like you gotta be paying too much attention to pinball. That's why my knock on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I also think, though, there's a pinball machine in almost every bar, and there's always people playing it, any time of night. And it can get competitive, and you always have that one person on every night that's like, I'm gonna break the high score, and they never come close.
No, it's much harder. My number 2 is skee ball. I love skee ball. I play skee ball all day. It's like bowling, but easier and quicker and less activity.
But see, I haven't been to that many bars that have skee ball.
Well, you're going to the wrong bars.
I mean, maybe.
You're too busy Googling piggy pancakes when you should be Googling skee ball.
That just makes me a good father, okay?
It makes you a pushover. I'd be
Whatever.
like, too bad, kid. You can have what you can find in the car seat.
So I think we have the same number 1 then, probably.
No. I don't even know what your number 1 is going to be. I don't even know what it's going to be. Oh, I know what it's going to be, and I would completely disagree. Okay, what's your number 1 then?
Well, my number 1 for best bar games is pool.
Yeah, I would agree that most people would put that up there. I don't particularly enjoy it.
So what's your number 1 then?
Air hockey. I love air hockey. Air hockey needs more respect. Air hockey's a great, great game. I love it.
So here's my thing with air hockey. I enjoy it. I like it. But if you're playing it as an adult against another adult, it gets to be a little annoying because half the time you're hitting it so hard that the puck just flies off the table.
I think that you need to really just reevaluate your life and what you're doing.
Like, I mean, maybe you're not hitting it hard enough.
No, maybe I try to actually play the game instead of just trying, me, John, me hit ball hard.
It's not just me.
Why don't you actually try to use some finesse?
Well, you're right. Maybe I'm not playing it right, or I'm not playing it right with the people that I'm playing it with.
That's what the problem is. You're not doing it right. Air hockey is a game of strategy, speed, reflexes, ability, thinking. It's fast chess is what air hockey is. You got to know math, geometry. You have to have the reaction time of a Formula One driver, the eyesight of a hawk, the body control of an Olympic gymnast. Air hockey's the ultimate game.
Every one of those attributes is definitely something I think of when I think of being at a bar playing.
Being at a bar playing air hockey. My wife and I may drive 30 minutes out of our way to go play dollar air hockey at the University of Washington. They have a table in the back that we can.
That's sweet, though.
That's actually a pretty good deal, right? People who live next to college campuses, you should be going to those college campuses and going bowling there, the game rooms, because they're always cheap. That's like a life hack. Go to the college campus where you can get bowling for $3 a game.
I mean, yeah. That's I feel like here, though, it's more expensive. Like, we have the University of Michigan kind of near us, Wayne State, but all those places are pretty expensive, or they're locked out to non-students.
No, dude, they're not. You got to know. You just got to go down there. There'll be like went to the University of Washington one time at the student union down there, and they would look like they were closed, and the guy's like, "Hey, we'll open up for you. It's $2." Like, it's just, it's great. You got to go to college campuses and play on their stuff more, man. Act like you're a student. Just act. I feel like, honestly, if you just go through your life acting like you're supposed to be there, nobody's going to actually really ask you any questions and kind of just let you do whatever you want.
I mean, isn't that how many people have done a lot of things? They're not even supposed to be there.
Act like you're supposed to be there, right? Like, how many people at their job, like, really know actually what you're doing? Like, not that many. Just act like you're supposed to be there, and life's going to be okay. Air hockey's the best. Pool is stupid.
I'm not good at pool, but pool, when you think of a bar game, I feel like it's darts and pool.
Yeah, I'm a more active. I like a little more activity in my games.
That's where
fast pace.
I don't want to be active at a bar unless I'm moving my hand, 90 degrees to my mouth.
12-ounce curls. I would have put ping pong as number one if I would have thought ping pong if I could get away with it.
Yeah, no, ping pong's in the bar game.
Yeah. What's on your honorable mention?
Let's see here. I have that. I don't know what it's called, but the basketball shooting game.
Yeah, I would say that's more arcade game. I believe it's called basketball. That's how most people generally refer to it.
Let's see. I do have shuffleboard on here, and then this is an outside bar game, but bocce ball.
I don't know what that one is.
It's kind of long, kind of complicated, but essentially you're just trying to hit a ball with a wooden like bracket type thing through a couple of wooden hoops.
Oh, is it like croquet?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds
boring. Wait, am I getting croquet mixed up with bocce ball?
I think you're getting croquet mixed up with bocce ball. I think bocce ball is something you like. Is like cornhole, but bowling.
No, croquet, not bocce ball. Looks like there are nothing. You don't hit anything on bocce ball. You throw the balls.
Yeah, you're like, It's like, I don't know how to play those games.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Horseshoes too, but horseshoes is fun, but you don't really play it in a bar or outside a bar.
You know what was huge at a point was Golden Tee. That had a moment.
I played Golden Tee in the last year at a bar, so.
Oh, I don't know if I've played. I would. The other one I could put on there is Buck Hunter, like a shooting game, like Buck Hunter. I went to an arcade the other day, and somebody left $50 in Buck Hunter. They left it $50.
What? That's somebody who rage quit the shit out of that game.
Oh, they must have been like really, or they didn't know. They like paid on a credit card and didn't realize that they had $50 and thought it was $5.
Oh my god!
I would never leave $50 in a $50. They had to leave all of a sudden. How are you gonna pay $50 worth of Buck Hunter? Sitting there for we played for 3 games. I was like, this is way too much. I can't play this.
Buck Hunter, man, tell you what.
Golden Tee's big. I haven't played Golden Tee in probably 20 years. Not 20 years.
You got anything on your list?
Only Golden Tee, and I would say Buck Hunter. Some people put Jenga, but that to me, I don't understand that. Why do I want to get drunk and pick shit up?
Yeah, there's a couple of bars locally here that you play board games, and I'm like, I don't want to get drunk and play games that I have to really think about.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's Go Fish. I play Go Fish.
Also, I feel like I have to say that I did write this down. I wasn't going to bring it up, but Blockbuster had the social media of the month, I feel, and it's Labor Day, and their tweet was giving all of our employees the day off to celebrate Labor Day.
That's pretty. I can't believe they still exist.
There's one left, I think, up by you, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think there's
Not
one
going
left.
Any Blockbusters?
Man, listen, we don't got to talk about it, but some of my favorite moments that I actually remember were Blockbuster included.
Oh, can't remember ever going to a Blockbuster.
Well,
the only thing I know about Blockbuster's closed.
Fart.
No, dude, it's because I know how to use technology. Wow, I could drive to this place and rent a video. Or I could just click this button.
We didn't have that back in the day.
Maybe you didn't. In Detroit, which is a third world country, which is why the Detroit Lions aren't going to do anything, and everybody knows it. They had one good year because they played a bunch of bad teams that were already injured. It's a complete fluke. They probably won't even make the playoffs, not just this year, but ever again. I would be more willing to bet, if I had a choice between the Detroit Lions will someday win the Super Bowl or the Detroit Lions will never make the playoffs again, ever. I would pick, probably never again, ever.